Hi everyone, this is Gigi Williams from Gigi's One-Handed Ways. Today I don't have a skill to show you or a little trick on how I do things with one hand, but I do have a lovely story to tell you. Yesterday I was going to drive an Amish lady and her little boy, Eli, for his therapeutic horseback riding lesson. I arrived at their house in plenty of time, but when she got to the car, she asked if I could take Eli myself without her going. She had some things to do, but on the way there, I would pick up Eli's teacher and she would go along. She indicated the house was just up the road and gave me this lady's address. So I went. Before I left, though, she wanted to know how much I charged for taking them. And I said I really didn't know. I hadn't taken money before. But she said that she wanted to give me $20. And would that be fine? I said yes. So I took the $20. And little Eli was buckled in the back seat, and off we went. Eli's 8 years old, by the way. Cute as a button. Curly hair in his little Amish hat. So precious. So I put the address in my phone, and it was 15 minutes away, which seemed a little surprising, but off I went anyway. I didn't realize the GPS address was not what I put in there or what I spoke. It had me going to a different town, to Quarryville, Pennsylvania, and I needed to go to Kirkwood, Pennsylvania. As we drove and drove, little Eli was trying to help me, telling me which way to go, but I thought I knew because of the GPS. Finally, we arrived on a road that the GPS indicated that I should turn on. And it was called Blue Gill Road. Well, I thought maybe this would turn into Schoolhouse Road, which is where I wanted to go. But it did not. In fact, the road was very narrow and windy and not in good condition. There were some driveways and mailboxes, but it was very wooded. The trees just encompassed everything. And Eli suggested I turn around. So I did. I just could not find the house number, and we weren't even on the right road anyway. So I left and tried to put the address in again, not realizing that the GPS was redirecting me to another town. So we get on our way, and my Wi-Fi didn't work. So I really did not know at all which way to turn. So I started asking Eli what way he thought we should go, just sort of for fun. And he told me to turn right or to go this way or that way. And I did what he said. And then I realized we still didn't know where we were going, but this was the cool thing. I did not panic, even though I knew we were supposed to be at the horseback riding place at 10 o'clock, and it was probably after 10 at this time. And we hadn't picked up the teacher either. So I just thought, well, the Lord knows all about this. He directs our steps, so I'm just going to trust him. And I called my brother-in-law, Tom Clark, because he's really good with helping people out with different things. He answered the phone, but he was not home, so he couldn't look up anything. But I asked him if he would pray, and he did. He asked the Lord to direct my car. So off I went, this road and that road, and then I started to pass an Amish greenhouse. And I said, I'm going to stop there. So I backed the car up and went into the greenhouse. And I talked to a lady, and she gave me some instructions. And of course, I like to give my pink book away when I can. And I offered her a book. And as I was going to get into my car, this man came out of a house and stood on his porch and just looked at me. And I was, of course, going to offer him a book as well. And he said, "We have your book." And I was really surprised. I didn't even know what town I was in. I knew nothing but except that I was lost. He said, "We have your book, A lady was at BB's last week and you gave her a book and she told you about us because our little boy was born with one hand. And so you offered a book to give to us, and we're reading your book. I was so surprised. And this young man was so friendly. He said, "Do you want to come in and meet the baby?" Of course I did. Even though we were late, I could not resist. And of course, little Eli is right there with me. We went inside the house, and the mama woke the little baby up. And he was very pleasant, curly brown hair, so precious. I looked at his little hand, and he was missing the fingers on his left hand. But he did have a partial thumb, and his daddy said he was really good at using that thumb to pull his beard. And one of the things that this couple told me was that people will ask them, why did God allow this to happen? And they did not appreciate or like that question at all. And I said, I understand that. I said, but we know that we're not going to understand all of God's ways, but we can trust our God. He is faithful. He brought me to your house today. That was not planned by us. God orchestrated my steps to bring me into their home with this little baby, that I was able to minister to this family, and they had 2 other children as well. We exchanged phone numbers. I said, I want to see you again. And they were so kind and fun. And I did finally get to the house that I needed to go to, the Amish teacher, and we got there at 11 o'clock. So we realized that there was not going to be any horseback riding that day. And I leaned down to little Eli, and I said, Eli, I'm so sorry. I got lost, and I was not able to take you today. And he just smiled, and he said it was okay. He forgave me. And my heart was touched by that little boy. I went to my car, and I pulled out the $20, and I asked the teacher to give that back to Annie, Eli's mother, who'd given it to me that morning. I said, because I did not accomplish my mission of getting him where he needed to be. But I know that I accomplished God's mission for the day. And I just think that's so exciting to see how God works, and we can trust him with every detail of our lives. So I've been rejoicing about that today and praising God because he indeed is faithful. Thank you so much, and God bless you all until next time.